After striking a bargain to bring about a new golden age for the Sith, Exar Kun and Ulic Qel-Droma separated and spent the next 6 months preparing for an invasion of the Republic. Believing they needed more allies trained as Sith, the Dark Lord traveled to Ossus, where he pretended to still be a Jedi and made grandiose claims about wanting to reveal ancient secrets the Masters kept hidden. Intrigued by his words and displays of power, 20 young Jedi were swayed to follow him. However, he could not fool the old master Odan Ur, who guarded a Sith holocron, which immediately sensed Exar's dark side aura. Taking the holocron, the Dark Lord then killed Odan Ur when he tried to resist, afterwards telling the others that the master died of old age. Meanwhile, Ulic Qel-Droma focused on recruiting a substantial army to challenge the might of the Republic, growing their forces in the Empress Teta system as they expanded their holdings. Yet a unique opportunity presented itself when Sinagar was attacked by Mandalore the Indomitable, leader of the famous Mandalorians, a warrior culture entirely devoted to the idea of personal glory in combat. However, instead of a devastating battle between their forces, Mandalore challenged Ulic Qel-Droma to single combat to the death, with the winner emerging as the undisputed ruler of both factions. Though Mandalore fought valiantly, Qel-Droma emerged victorious, choosing to spare his opponent's life in order to take advantage of his vast military experience, making him a general in the coming war. With both the Krath and Mandalorians behind him, Qel-Droma then led an attack against Forost, capturing 300 of the Republic's newest warships. With both Sith Lords making progress, they communicated but found themselves at odds with how to move forward. Exar made it clear he wanted to slowly build up their forces and launch a well-thought-out, large-scale, multi-pronged attack to ensure total victory. But his apprentice wanted to attack at once, maximizing the effect of their existing forces, with strategy and Sith magic to capture Coruscant, capital of the Republic. Qel-Droma was also angered by how little his Sith master accomplished during their time apart, having gathered only 20 Jedi who were not yet trained in the dark side, as opposed to the 2 massive armies and fleet gathered by the apprentice. Believing that Exar's smaller group of Jedi would make little difference in the outcome of the war, Qel-Droma insisted on attacking Coruscant without them, and while he still thought it a mistake, the Dark Lord saw he would not be dissuaded and agreed to the plan, but also warned that he would continue on without them should they fail. Taking his Jedi followers to Yavin 4, Exar crushed the Sith holocron taken from Odan Ur, releasing the remnants of the ancient Sith trapped within, causing the shattered pieces to explode out and embed themselves in the skin of 19 Jedi, imbuing them with the dark side to form the Brotherhood of the Sith. The only one left unaffected was the Cathar Credo, who was already loyal to Exar, as they were apprentices together on Dantooine years earlier. While the Dark Lord worked to train and prepare his Sith followers, Qel-Droma, Mandalore, and Ali Makedo went on to strike at the heart of the Republic, using sorcery to distract and confuse the enemy while they attacked with all their strength. Yet as the battle raged on and Qel-Droma made his way towards the enemy war room, his lover Ali Makedo betrayed him by falsely telling Mandalore the battle was lost, the Sith Lord was dead, and they must pull out at once to save as much of their forces as possible. With his armies retreating, Qel-Droma was left almost entirely alone on Coruscant, and was soon surrounded and captured by a number of powerful Jedi, including his brother Kay and former love interest Nomi Sunrider. Retreating to the Empress Teta system, the Sith army of Qel-Droma was now under the command of Ali Makedo, with Mandalore the Indomitable as her general. However, the Mandalorian was disturbed by what happened on Coruscant, and upon hearing that Qel-Droma was merely captured and not killed, wanted to launch a rescue operation at once. However, Alima refused and instead issued new attack orders. Suspecting betrayal, Mandalore relayed her orders and then set off on his own to Yavin 4, seeking Exar Kun's assistance to rescue Qel-Droma. The Dark Lord agreed, but before departing, left orders for his students to track down and kill their former Jedi Masters. Exar then decided to turn their rescue operation into a grand display of power and dominance for the Republic by traveling directly to Coruscant and bursting into the Senate House to interrupt the trial of his Sith apprentice. Using sorcery to freeze the spectators in place, the Dark Lord murdered Chancellor Sidrona before fighting and killing his former master, Vodo Siosk Bas, with a double-bladed lightsaber based on a design from the old Sith Empire. Before passing away, the old Jedi declared they would one day fight again, and he would have victory. Announcing before the entire Senate that the Sith Brotherhood was now in control of the galaxy, Exar, Qel-Droma, and Mandalore casually walked out of the building, leaving the government in chaos. In order to deal with the traitor Alima, they sent her on a suicide mission to detonate a series of supernovas in the Kron star cluster, destroying everything in the area. In spite of his devotion, Credo was also sent to die, as he was proving weak and quickly becoming an annoyance. As the shockwave of destruction spread through space, the Sith Lords went to the nearby world of Ossus, taking advantage of the emergency evacuation to loot the Great Jedi Library. However, Ulic Qel-Droma was confronted once again by his brother Kay, who begged him to return to the light side. Blinded by rage, Ulic killed his brother, only to immediately collapse in regret, crying over the fallen corpse. Nomi Sunrider, having witnessed the murder, erupted in anger and lashed out at Qel-Droma with a powerful attack, blocking his ability to summon the Force. After successfully robbing the library, Exar was unwilling to wait any longer for his apprentice, and departed the planet, returning to Yavin 4. Unfortunately for the Dark Lord, Qel-Droma's capture was not the only failure in their plan, as Mandalore was sent on a separate mission to conquer Onderon, but faced fierce resistance from the local Beast Riders, who delayed the battle long enough for Republic reinforcements to arrive. Facing defeat, Mandalore refused to surrender and led his troops to the moon of Duxon so they might disappear into the jungles and continue the struggle. Unfortunately, their leader died on the moon, leading one of his warriors to pick up his mask and continue their traditions by declaring himself the new Mandalore. After murdering his brother and being stripped of the Force, Ulic Qel-Droma was utterly devastated but no longer bound to the dark side, and so revealed the location of Yavin 4 and vowed to help the Jedi stop Exar Kun. In response, Jedi from all over the Republic gathered together and traveled with such overwhelming force, the Dark Lord did not stand a chance. Understanding he was defeated, Exar decided to perform a powerful ritual, sacrificing the lives of thousands of his Misasi warriors to shed the confines of his body and become an immortal spirit. Before the Jedi could even launch their attack, they saw a huge shockwave sweep across the planet, causing the forest to burst into flames, devastating the landscape. Seeing no way for Exar Kun to have survived the destruction, the Jedi retreated, but the ritual had actually worked, and the Dark Lord survived as a spirit, trapped within his great temple. Later, when Ulic Qel-Droma returned to Yavin 4 to sift through the rubble, Exar Kun sensed him and tried to communicate, but his former apprentice no longer felt the Force and heard nothing. With the Sith Lords defeated, as well as Mandalore and Alima dead, the Krath and Sith Brotherhood quickly fell apart, and the Republic recaptured the Empress Teta system. However, the legacy of the Sith and Exar Kun lived on, as the Great Sith War set the stage for the Second Sith War, a few decades later, led by Revan and Malak. As for the spirit of the Dark Lord, it remained for thousands of years on Yavin 4 until 1 ABY, when he was awoken by a team of archaeologists from Corellia University, who were then corrupted to the dark side and formed the cult of Exar Kun. Yet when Professor Cornelius Wagglehorn learned the fate of the expedition, he hired a team of spacers to destroy the cult. A few years later, in 11 ABY, Exar's spirit, which still possessed dark-side powers, reached out through the Force to haunt the dreams of a young man named Gantoris, who was later recruited by Luke Skywalker to join the new Jedi Order. When they went to train on Yavin 4, Exar continued to reach out to Gantoris, hoping to turn him to the dark side, but instead he was incinerated when he resisted. The Dark Lord next moved on to the Jedi recruit Kip Duron, a powerful Force user with a deep hatred for the Empire. Exploiting these negative feelings, Exar turned him against Master Skywalker, and he departed the planet to train as a Sith Lord, before returning to Yavin 4 in search of an Imperial superweapon known as the Sun Crusher. When Luke Skywalker tried to stop him, the spirit of Exar Kun appeared and helped his apprentice defeat the Jedi Master, able to tear his spirit from its body, which was left comatose. Durin then departed and went on a rampage against the remnants of the Empire, while Exar continued to attempt corrupting the minds of other Jedi students on Yavin 4, determined to destroy Skywalker once and for all. However, the Jedi students retaliated and stood together alongside Jacen Solo, Luke Skywalker's spirit, and the ancient ghost of Vodo Siosk Bas, which returned as prophesied, to face his former apprentice Exar Kun, and finally destroy the Dark Lord's spirit. Love audiobooks? Then be sure to check out Audible, where they have the world's largest collection available. Simply sign up through the link in the description box below, and get 2 free audiobooks to start out. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Magic the Shaman, Arhael the Silent Blade, the Smiling Cow, and the Spectral Knight. If you'd like to help CivilizationEx, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and click on the links to see more.